Hare Krishna. We are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, sloka number 45. Yadi mama apratikaram asastram sastrapanaya dhritarashtrarane hanyuscha tanamekshya mataram bhavet. So in this sloka, Arjuna is telling to Krishna, so better for me, the son of Dhritarashtra, so they will kill me unarmed rather than fighting in the battlefield. So what is telling? So this is the situation of Arjuna, that he is feeling very helpless. So now on the various argument, so he is telling that it is not at all justified to fight in Mahabharata Yuddha. So he is thinking that it is not at all right, because lot of sinful activity will happen when I will kill the Kauravas soldiers. So he is deciding in that way. But when he is already that Mahabharata war is arranged, so everyone is there. So even if going from the Yuddha, that is also not at all good for a Kshatriya. So on that basis he is feeling very helpless. So what can be done in this situation? Because from his mind, from his all this statement, he is telling that it is all about sinful activities to kill the family members, and if someone is breaking the family tradition, obviously all the family members will dwell in the hell, and he is thinking that I will be the cause of breaking the family tradition. So that's why, so Arjuna's situation is very helpless. Even if in our life also, sometimes we have faced this kind of situation that we have agreed for something and we are not interested to that kind of, to do that things. So that is very helpless situation. So that is the right situation for Arjuna's also. So on that basis, so he is telling what can be done. So he is telling that I will not fight. Also I cannot go from the war, because for a Kshatriya it is also not dharma that go from the war. That is also not there. So I will be not shoot the arrow. I will be unarmed. Means I will not hold any weapon. So if I will not hold any weapon, so what kind of situation will be there? Two kind of scenario will there. So if I will not hold any kind of weapon, so as a Kshatriya dharma, so another Kshatriya, when he will see that other soldier, he does not hold any weapon, maybe he will not shoot any arrow. So according to Kshatriya dharma, so if a soldier does not have any weapon, that other Kshatriya cannot shoot the arrow. So on that basis, if I will not hold the weapon, so from other side, maybe they will get the compassion, and according to Kshatriya dharma, they will not fight with me. So that can be one option. And one more option will be there. If they will not follow the Kshatriya dharma, or if they will not get the compassion for me, they will kill me. So on any basis, that is fine for me. So I will not at all fight. So on this statement, it is clear that Arjuna was very fearful to do any kind of sinful activities. Means Arjuna was not at all ready to do any kind of sinful activities, and obviously he does not have any intention that for sense gratification, neither he has any interest or he has any greed. So Arjuna came to fight in Mahabharata war, so not that he has desired that I will get the kingdom or we will enjoy the royal happiness. So that kind of mentality was not at all there. So when in the Mahabharata war, when he is seeing all this kind of scenario that I need to kill all my family members, and obviously Krishna also made some trick that he took the chariot to the in front of the Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya. Obviously Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya, we are the very weakness for Arjuna. So when he is seeing all these kind of scenario, so he is thinking that it is good to be killed in Mahabharata war rather than killing my own kinsmen and getting all kind of sinful activities. So you see, who are the pure devotee, for them to be killed in any kind of situation is not at all fearful thing. But which is fearful thing? To do any kind of sinful activities. But in our life also, in our life if we will compare, we are ready to do any kind of sinful activities, but always we are fearful for death. So this is the difference between a pure devotee and between us. So they are not at all fearful for death, they are fearful for sinful activities, because they knew that if they will do sinful activities, they need to suffer. But in our case, due to the ignorance, so that's why we are thinking that sinful activities is fine, but how we will live a very happy life. But whatever the happiness we are getting from the sinful activities, that we need to suffer a lot in future. So that's why death is not at all a very fearful thing. Sinful thing is very fearful thing. So that's why Arjuna is telling that it is better to be killed in Mahabharata war rather than doing sinful activities by killing my own men. But obviously, so this was the argument, that fourth argument by Arjuna, that it is not at all valid to kill my own kinsman because the family tradition will be destroyed. So this is not at all the valid argument, because the Mahabharata war was going to happen on the instruction of Krishna. Obviously, when Krishna is instructing, so establishing the dharma, so any kind of sinful activities will not be there, and the fear of that my own kinsman will be lost, that is also will not be there, because everyone will be liberated from this material world and they will get the spiritual world, because on the instruction of Krishna it was happening. So Arjuna, whatever the argument is presenting, so because this is our mentality, so that's why Arjuna is presenting all these argument, but this is not at all valid on the scenario of Mahabharata war. Hare Krishna.